Breaking news, one of America's loudest conservative voices has been silenced. Charlie Kirk has reportedly been shot dead in a shocking attack in Utah, and now Donald Trump is pointing fingers straight at the radical left. What really happened? And what does this mean for America's political future? Stay tuned because this story is exploding right now. Welcome back to our channel, your source for the truth behind U.S. politics. If you care about free speech, political accountability, and knowing what's really going on in Washington, D.C., you're in the right place. Tonight, we're covering breaking news that has sent shockwaves through the conservative movement: the reported assassination of Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, during a public appearance in Utah. And just hours later, Donald Trump unleashed a fiery response, accusing radical left extremists of pushing America toward political violence. Let's break it all down. According to initial reports from local law enforcement, Kirk was speaking at a private fundraising event when the shots rang out. Attendees described a sudden eruption of chaos as the sound of gunfire cut through the packed hall. Some witnesses said they first thought it was part of a staged demonstration, but within seconds, people were diving to the floor. Security rushed the stage, and screams filled the room. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, but reports suggest Kirk succumbed to his injuries before he could be transported to the hospital. The alleged shooter was taken into custody after a brief standoff in the parking area, though police have not yet released their identity or possible motive. This shocking incident has triggered an immediate political firestorm. Within hours of the news breaking, Donald Trump took to Truth Social to deliver a blistering response. In his post, he described the killing as an act of domestic political terror and blamed what he called radical left thugs for creating a toxic climate of hatred and division in America. Trump declared that conservatives are now under direct threat and warned that the left's rhetoric has gone too far, stoking an environment where violence against political opponents is being normalized. His words quickly went viral, igniting passionate reactions across the political spectrum. Prominent Republicans echoed Trump's sentiments. Ron DeSantis called the killing a political assassination and demanded the Federal Bureau of Investigation open a full-scale domestic terrorism probe. Marjorie Taylor Greene described the attack as proof that conservatives are hunted for their beliefs and urged supporters to remain vigilant. On the other hand, several Democratic figures cautioned against drawing premature conclusions about the shooter's motive until official investigations are complete. But that call for patience has done little to slow the tidal wave of online outrage now engulfing social media platforms. Analysts are already warning this event could become a political tipping point. As the 2024 election cycle intensifies, both major parties are bracing for backlash, protests, and heightened security threats at campaign events. Some fear this killing could spark retaliatory violence, deepening the country's already raw partisan divides. Commentators on cable networks and online forums are debating whether the U.S. is entering a dangerous new era, where ideological disagreements increasingly turn into real-world bloodshed. Meanwhile, social media is flooded with polarized reactions. Conservative influencers are posting tributes to Charlie Kirk, calling him a martyr for free speech and warning their followers that no conservative voice is safe. Progressive activists, while condemning the violence, are pushing back against claims that left-wing rhetoric caused the attack, arguing that political violence has occurred on all sides. The hashtag #JusticeForKirk is trending on X, while Stop Political Violence is being used by both sides of the aisle to demand a de-escalation of tensions. To understand why this tragedy is shaking so many people, it's worth remembering who Charlie Kirk was. He rose to national prominence as a brash, outspoken conservative voice in his early 20s, founding Turning Point USA to mobilize young conservatives on college campuses. Over the past decade, he became a staple on right-wing talk shows, podcasts, and conferences, gaining millions of followers who saw him as a fearless defender of conservative values. To his supporters, he symbolized a new generation of unapologetic conservatism. To his critics, he was a lightning rod who thrived on controversy and confrontation. Whether loved or hated, his voice was undeniably influential, and his sudden death has left a void in the conservative movement that will not be easily filled. The investigation into the attack is only just beginning, and there are still more questions than answers. Authorities in Utah say they are examining the suspect's social media activity, possible political affiliations, and personal history to determine if the shooting was ideologically motivated. Federal agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Department of Homeland Security have reportedly joined the investigation, citing the high-profile nature of the victim and potential national security implications. Meanwhile, local officials are urging the public to remain calm and allow the investigation to unfold without speculation, but in the current hypercharged political climate, speculation is already rampant. This incident is also reviving a broader debate about political speech in America. Conservative leaders are demanding stronger protections for public figures who receive threats, arguing that heated rhetoric from the left normalizes violence. Progressive commentators counter that right-wing figures have also engaged in incendiary speech, and that blaming one political ideology for acts of violence only fuels the cycle of hate. The debate over whether speech can incite violence and where to draw the line between free expression and dangerous provocation is now front and center in the national conversation. Some security experts are warning that the assassination of such a high-profile conservative could inspire copycat attacks. They are urging campaigns, think tanks, and advocacy groups on both sides to reassess their security protocols, especially for events involving controversial figures. The fear is that this attack could be the first in a wave of politically motivated violence that threatens to destabilize the upcoming election season. With public trust in institutions already eroding, into an even deeper state of polarization and unrest. Beyond politics, there's also a human story of loss here. Friends and allies of Charlie Kirk have begun sharing emotional tributes, describing him as fiercely loyal, relentless in his mission, and deeply committed to his faith. Supporters have set up candlelight vigils in cities from Phoenix to Tampa, gathering to mourn and honor his legacy. Even some of his staunchest ideological rivals have publicly expressed condolences, acknowledging that while they disagreed with his politics, no one should be killed for their beliefs. These moments of shared humanity are rare in today's political climate, but they highlight how shocking and senseless this violence feels to people across the spectrum. As the sun sets on this chaotic day, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. More details will emerge about the shooter, their motives, and the circumstances that led to this tragedy. There will be political battles over how to interpret it, media wars over how to frame it, and no shortage of voices trying to use it to advance their own agendas. But beneath all the noise, there is a sobering truth: America is at a crossroads. The nation must decide whether it will allow political violence to become the new normal or come together to reject it, no matter who it targets. This is a developing story, and the facts are still coming in. We'll continue to bring you verified updates as they happen. What's your take? Is America entering a dangerous new era of political violence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because the truth matters, and we'll make sure you hear it. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next report. This is a speculative news commentary video. The following content is fictional and for discussion purposes only.